When they have the audition tapes, they will just turn like the screen around and just listen to the tapes, just going, okay, so this is how he or she sounds. Can I listen to this voice for 200 hours and not wanting to kill myself?
Assassin's Creed Shadows is all the rage right now with millions of players across the globe, and I'm one of them. So I decided here at IGN we should take a look back at one of the previous mainline Assassin's Creed games in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And joining me right now is the voice actor of Eivor and Odin, Magnus Bruun. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's a lovely day to have you here. Now, of course, I have you here because, this has been a special year for Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Shadows released a few weeks ago. Yep. So, of course, I kind of want to take like a look back, a retrospective look back at the Assassin's Creed franchise. And so, of course, I have you here, Eivor, Odin from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which was one of my saving graces of the pandemic, I have to say.
Yeah.
Because it came out in 2020. Also, welcome back. I'm glad you're working with us here at IGN in the U.S. offices. You did like a little bit of like a playthrough with our UK team. Let's just get started. I want to talk about like your experience working on Valhalla. How was that? Like just overall?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was great fun. It was my first video game ever. So obviously there was a lot of surprising stuff in it, and I didn't even know it was a video game when I auditioned for it. I just thought it was. I was told it was this animated series made in Canada, 10 episodes, the Black Wolf Saga. Cool, I can do that. Like, sounds fun. 10 episodes of something. And then when I got a call back and was invited to London, my agent told me, so this might not be a series. We don't know, but we can see now that it's Ubisoft that is making it. Okay, so it's not a series? Well, we don't know. And then when I came into the room in London, like, hey, Magnus, nice to see you here. This is the next Assassin's Creed game. Like, okay, cool, this is something else. So the whole experience of it in the beginning was like, what am I actually doing? And they kept a lot of scripts to themselves. But when I got casted and I went to Montreal and started shooting it, it was overall just like so much fun all the time. Everybody was like, the nicest people, and also just to be able to be the lead character in such a huge story, and to play out that storyline and those storylines and all of that was just amazing. Because normally when you get a gig for a series or if you play theater or whatever, it's small story. This is the story. This is A. And this is C. This is it. So to be able to keep on playing a character and just develop the story and the feelings, the emotions, all of that was just amazing.
We each know our parts. May they blunt their swords against our might.
What was your experience with the Assassin's Creed franchise prior to getting the role?
Not much, actually. I'm not the huge gamer, so I hadn't played any of the games. I knew of them, and I knew there was a movie about it, but actually I never really dug deep into it. So I hadn't anything, which was quite fun for a lot of people and surprising that, so this is the huge Assassin's Creed franchise. And I was like, yeah, sure, cool. Which for me was pretty good. As this being my first game, I remember having a chat with my agent going, okay, so this will take you out for a whole year, Magnus. And that's just the game, and there might be other stuff in the game afterwards. And I thought, well, this is a cool story. I want to do this. But not knowing how big of a thing this actually was, I think that was healthy for me, because I looked at it as, okay, there's a character. I need to portray this person. I need to figure out how, why and what, and why we're doing this. So I just looked at it as a normal gig, like a normal story, normal character. And it was first when we were doing some motion capture for the trailer, and that was, I think, 8 months into the shoot. And when that trailer came out, like, this is the new Assassin's Creed game, it's going to be Viking theme, and that trailer was, I think, had more than 100 million views in the first 10 days. Then it dawned on me, oh, fuck, this is actually stupidly big. I think that was healthy because until then, 8 months of me just going into work, going, okay, how do I do this scene? I want to all of that.
No, I think that's good that you came in without necessarily knowing just how massive of a property this is, because now you can look at it from the actor perspective and not necessarily like have those like preconceived notions like, oh, I can't disappoint the fans. You came in with knowledge already, because you worked on The Last Kingdom for several years, right? Like how much of the knowledge from The Last Kingdom went into this particular project?
A lot, because I'd been working on a Viking warlord for 3 years. Maybe not the same kind of character, but somebody would call Knut from The Last Kingdom a bad guy. I look at him
understatement,
as a very ambitious character.
He's my cousin, on my mother's side.
I'm a Dane, Lord Uhtred. So you're gonna kill me too?
But I had looked a lot up, had done all the research. Also, me being Danish, like it's in our culture, it's in our history. So I knew not all, but a lot of what to know about Norse mythology. So all of that just was in here. I didn't have to look deep or dig deep for that. So a lot of the research was done already. And then because I've been working on The Last Kingdom, I've done all that other research. So when I came to Canada to start shooting, most of it was already there. I remember they gave me some notes on, hey, you maybe look at this book and put more of this into the character. But other than that, it was mainly just working on who's this person, who's Eivor, not the bigger picture, because that was already made.
Mm-hmm. Now, were the folks at Ubisoft already familiar with your work? Do you think that kind of like led to you getting the role, or did they mention like, we love you on The Last Kingdom, you're hired? Like how did that? Was there a conversation that ever took place, or?
There was a conversation, but in video games, and this surprised me, but in the whole casting of video games, especially for the leads, it's very different than from how you cast for a movie or for a series. When they have the audition tapes, but then they will just turn like the screen around and just listen to the tapes, just going, okay, so this is how he or she sounds. This is how it is, and then they will show or have their partners, their friends listen to the tapes. Not watch, because you can get, oh, he looks the part, or she's so beautiful, or she's so strong, or whatever. Voice. It's the voice. Can I listen to this voice for 200 hours and not wanting to kill myself? If so, he can maybe play the character. He can be the lead, because when you're playing the video game and you put your headphones on, I become your voice, and if you don't dig it, it's like you're gonna just jump every cutscene. You're just gonna, can I? So it needs to be very specific what they're looking for in it. And for me, thank God they thought, oh, that raspy Danish sounding, we can go with that.
Then, by my honor, I shall not rest until I return him to you safely. Aye, Tefter?
I see I am outmatched.
I mean, I have to say that I feel like, as someone who spent countless hours in Valhalla, they definitely made the right decision with Eivor and Odin as well. I mean, you're both characters. And also, shout out to the Ubisoft writers. Like, I feel like Assassin's Creed Valhalla has some of the most compelling writing that I've ever heard in any Assassin's Creed game. It's almost like, I would say, poetic. Some of the lines.
There was a lot of writers on the game, obviously. The narrative director, David McDevitt, he's a genius. He's brilliant. He has answers to everything, and also the research they put into this game was just immense. And also Eivor being a reincarnation of Odin made the character way more poetic. So it was important for them to have Eivor have the poetry and have all of that in the character.
Obviously, there's a lot that we know of Norse mythology about Odin. There's zero to start with from Eivor.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to know from you, which one was like, I guess, the most challenging to kind of like take on and try to like figure out who this person is. and how to perform as this character?
That would be Eivor, I think, because that was a new character. That was the person. That was the human being, and also there was way more storyline for Eivor. But Odin was interesting because how the hell do you portray a god without being, oh, I am the god, or like how we worked a lot on the voice. We had so many different tries. Like, so we did this and send it in, and then afterwards, like, yeah, it's too much that, or too, and so they wanted it to sound like an older Eivor. In the end, they figure out it's just a slightly older Eivor because they also had like me going like, thinking, yeah, it works, but not for this game. Or like there's so many different tries until they said, yeah, that one. This is we'll go with that. And I remember all the voice directors and we went, yeah, but maybe they're gonna change it. It's just gonna have another session where we're gonna try something new, and they did. And then in the end, we landed on what's in the game.
I have given you everything you wanted, everything you needed. You gave me nothing. It was all me.
First off, I want to know your overall thoughts on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Also, if you have any sort of like, words you can instill in the voice actors, both Yasuke and Naoe, now that they're being brought into this fandom, those two voice actors.
First of all, I think about time that they made a samurai ninja Assassin's Creed. That is just right down the Assassin's Creed alley. It suits the whole story so well, I think. I haven't played the game. I've watched a lot of cutscenes from it and a lot of gameplay. It looks amazing. It really does. And also, I think it's cool that you can choose to be very ninja, but you can also choose to be more like a
tank.
Yeah, the tank. You could play that character. I think that looks really cool and looks really fun. It looks and sounds really good, and just welcome to the Creed. Welcome to the Creed.
Or choose another path beyond what we see.
And we must look for it together.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned lines because I want to play a little game with you.
Of course you do.
So I have some lines from Valhalla. I want you to read them in your best either Eivor or Odin voice.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Should I just start with number one?
Yes.
I wish you whatever peace you may find in this new life you found. Is that Odin?
Close.
There's only two.
It's Eivor. It's
God
Eivor.
damn it.
Yes.
I wish you whatever peace you may find in this new life you have found.
I didn't do this as like a gotcha or anything. I didn't, I know it's been several years. So.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do another one. Sorry in advance for not know. I did record more than 15,000 lines for this game. So mind you, it's...
You get a pass, don't worry.
Sweet from evil remains sweet, even if it crumbles quickly in their hands. That's Odin.
It's Eivor.
Damn, motherfucker.
Are you messing with me?
No, okay. That's two hall passes here.
You got it. Don't worry about it.
Sweet from evil remains sweet, even if it crumbles quickly in their hands.
Odin is with us! And that's Eivor.
No, that's definitely Odin. He's that arrogant. I'm pretty sure Odin would say that.
I'm with us.
You don't think he would just say that?
That's
Eivor.
actually from the trailer.
Yeah.
Odin is with us! I don't think I say that like that in the game. And it's one of the most wanted thing that I write on as autograph stuff. Like,
It's iconic. You know?
With me you have wisdom, glory, power. What more do you need? Odin.
Yes. Do you remember do you know the rest of that? What Eivor says? Everything else.
Yeah.
With me, wisdom, glory, power. What more do you need?
And the last one? Almost out of shells.
Who do you think that is?
I don't know.
It's actually Klaus.
It's Klaus, yeah.
Yes. from Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Almost out of shells!
Of course, I had to throw you. I had to throw your curveball. You already know. I mean, like you were part of the Modern Warfare series, both 2 and 3. Of course, and Klaus is such a memorable character. So I want to talk about that. Like that was your next role, right? In video games, outside of like the Assassin's Creed franchise, like your next video game role.
Well, my agent got a call from the guys from Activism here in Santa Monica. They loved Eivor. And they just wanted me to be in that game. So there was no audition, they just like, we want this guy to be someone in our game. And I think we've found him, so this should be this Klaus guy. And I didn't know anything about the character until I did the recordings of that in London. And they're like, so this is actually like a Santa Claus kind of a character. He's a huge fan of Christmas. That was really fun. That was a fun character, and I got to put a little bit of my own sprinkle to it as well, because I got some ideas. Because when Klaus kills, there's some lines, whatever is like, "Greetings from the north" or whatever. I'll strike one from the naughty list or whatever it is. And I came up with some of those as well. That was a fun process, but also weird because I came from doing all these lines as Eivor, like all the emotion and like whispering, like all the inner self lines when you talk to your raven, or maybe I should remember Randry told you to come, like, oh yeah, all that, and be my eyes soon in, and all of that. This was just projected, just like everything's just shouting out, more projection, more like that.
Out of ammo!
Yeah.
Machine gun on left! Juggernaut! No!
Like,
flamethrower!
all was just like that, like just me standing up in a studio just going, shout! For 4 hours in a row. Like, yeah, see you tomorrow. Yeah.
That's so crazy. It's because, I mean, it's such a stark contrast between those two characters that they were like, we loved you as Eivor. We want you to come in our game and just talk about shooting shit.
Yeah, just...
I love that.
I found out, somebody sent me, like, on YouTube, I think there's like all the Klaus lines just put together for 30 minutes. It's just in a row.
Back to back,
Yeah, it was just me shouting.
Attack target Bravo! Calling in some smoke! C4! Can't take much more!
I listened to that before this interview. I was like, did this man blow out his, like, it just sounds like a lot. Like, I don't know, did you lose your voice? Because, like,
No.
it's a lot of screaming.
It's a lot of screaming, yeah. Normally, also for Eivor, we would do like the war cries and all of like the very projected, we would do that in the end of a session.
Yeah.
So I would do 4-hour sessions, and I would then do 3 hours, maybe 3 hours and 15 of just normal conversation. And then we would do, okay, now is the battle time. And I would just go in and do more projected and the shoutings and like all of that. And with Klaus, that was mainly all of it. But obviously there was some high projection, and then there was like crazy projection. And we would do the crazy ones in the end of each session. But I wouldn't blow my voice out. I think I have quite a strong voice, but I also needed to have like honey and chamomile tea, and also wouldn't go out and watch a game in London. Like, let's go shout for 2 hours watching football. Like, wouldn't do anything like that. Any crazy, no drinking. Like, keep it straight. This is important work.
Yeah,
and also really fun work.
Mm-hmm. Well, since I have you here, I got to ask you, who do you think would win in like an all-out battle to the death, Klaus or Eivor?
Depends on the weapons.
Okay, melee weapons, because obviously Klaus would have the upper hand if he's got like a bazooka, he's got a flamethrower.
That would just be Harrison Ford going, oh, I can't be bothered.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
So, of course, I definitely want us to talk about like the difference between like performance capture and live action, because, of course, I had the luxury of also performing on stages in TV and movie. How would you describe that difference between that and performing for video games?
Well, I remember stepping off the set of The Last Kingdom, where I'd been in this huge armor and furs and had this huge beard with beard jewelry and scars on my face, and long hair and axes and shields and being on a huge freezer horse and having an army, 50 stunt guys on horses and 200 extras, like all looking like a billion. And then coming to Montreal, and the first thing they wanted me to do was to shave. So I was clean shaven so they could animate my face and then put me in this black spandex suit. So I looked like I was doing aerobics in like the 80s and dots all over. And then like, now you're a Viking warlord, cool, hero, go. And I felt like, where's all my Viking? I came from this. And so that was in the beginning quite weird for me. Also like this box over here, that's your horse. So just imagine, and these sandbags, when you jump over them, that's the roots of Yggdrasil, or like just the whole imagining thing, where when I came from this world of everything is just there and nothing is there now. I remember that was kind of hard for me the first, I think, 2 days. But then I asked for like, can I get some props? I need something. So I got an axe. I could and a heavy belt. So I always had that like I'm dangerous. I have a weapon. And I think one of the first shoots I ever did, I was running around the studio with a bow, and also just that. I don't know if this can get into camera, but I was, running around and just having that movement made me, okay, here he is. That's the character. Where you're just standing there, stripped of anything. Just, I think that was a weird change for me. But then after 2 days, just everything is possible here. They'll just animate it. And they have 100 cameras in the ceiling and 3 cameras walking around, just steady cams. Like everything is possible, and they can intercut and they could do. And when you do this, it's already in the game. Look at that. Like it's fantastic when you understand the possibilities. But when you've never done video games before and this is the first motion capture, it's
a bit of a challenge.
What is going on? This huge empty soundstage, green screens, green everything, and just people in spandex. Like, what's going on? I remember that change was something I had to cope with. But then it just worked out. Like, now, and suddenly you lower your shoulders and you're, now I'm a pro. I'll just go in and do it again. Then I just had to figure out, because you have this helmet with cameras on, like head mount, and they're here, 3 or 4 cameras, and I kept bumping them into like the other actors, because I wanted to get close when we were talking, and when I'm this close, your cameras, my cameras was like, and they were just, cut for technical, Magnus, yeah, no, sorry, I just needed to, that would be like the thing I had to work with, like, so if we were kissing or we were hugging, we would stop here, and then they would just afterwards do the animation, just go, yeah, we will put you together. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, I'll that's the thing. You never put stuff in your belt, you just leave it and just loose it, just let go and then hit the floor, but that would make the weapon sit in your belt. So that's some of the differences, I think.
Yeah, wow. And I mean, that's funny that, especially coming right off of The Last Kingdom into something like this, I can see how you'd be like, it would be jarring, initially, but like you said, like after a few days, you probably, you settled in and you got to learn the physics of moving around with like a camera on and like dots all over your face and imagining this person is whomever they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It
felt like shooting the rehearsal all the time. Because normally when you do rehearsals for theater, or you just come in your normal clothes or whatever, and it's got to look really good. We'll just try it out now. This is just, you never change. That is the costume, Mm-hmm. It made sense that my character died in The Last Kingdom, and I went straight to Valhalla. That was like the perfect ending and start.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you once again to our guest, Magnus Bruun, for telling us a little bit more about his career and his experience working on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And for more on Assassin's Creed, Shadows, and all things Assassin's Creed related, keep it locked right here on IGN.
IGN.